Luna had always been the practical type. While her friends spent their credits on expensive vacations to the floating cities of Nebula Prime, she saved every coin, dreaming of the day she could afford her own ship. So when she stumbled upon an advertisement for an abandoned vessel auction in the outer sectors, her heart raced with possibility. The auction house was eerily empty that Tuesday morning. Located in a forgotten corner of Station Kepler 7, the building seemed to exist outside of time itself. Dust motes danced in the pale artificial light as Luna stepped through the corroded metal doors. She expected crowds, competing bidders, the usual chaos of a ship auction. Instead, she found herself alone with a bored-looking auctioneer who barely glanced up from his datapad. Lot 47, the auctioneer droned. Galactic cruiser, model KX779, origin unknown, recovered from the drift sector 3 months ago. Starting bid, 500 credits. Luna's jaw dropped. 500 credits for a galactic cruiser. Ships like that usually went for millions. Her hand shot up before logic could intervene. 500, she called out, her voice echoing in the empty hall. The auctioneer waited exactly 3 seconds. Sold 2 days later, Luna stood before her purchase at the station's docking bay. The ship was magnificent, sleek, silver hull etched with symbols she didn't recognize, triple-engine configuration, and windows that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. Cameron, her childhood friend and the station's best mechanic, whistled low beside her. "Luna, this is insane," Cameron said, running his hand along the hull. "This thing's worth at least 20 million credits. How did you get it for 500? "I don't know," Luna admitted, pressing her palm against the access panel, "but I'm not complaining." The ship's door hissed open, revealing a corridor bathed in soft blue light. Luna stepped inside, Cameron close behind. The interior was pristine for a ship that had supposedly been adrift in space. The air smelled faintly of ozone and something else, something almost floral. "The systems are all active," Cameron noted, examining a wall panel. "Lunar ships don't just maintain themselves for months without a crew." They explored cautiously, moving from the command deck to the living quarters. Everything seemed normal until they reached the cargo hold. Luna stopped short, her breath catching in her throat. The hold was filled with crystalline pods, hundreds of them, arranged in perfect rows. Each pod glowed with a gentle amber light, and inside each one floated a human form, suspended in what appeared to be cryogenic sleep. "What is this?" Cameron whispered, approaching the nearest pod. Inside was a young woman, maybe 20 years old, her face peaceful in slumber. Luna noticed a control console at the center of the hold. She approached it carefully, her fingers hovering over the holographic display. When she touched it, the entire room came alive. The console projected a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy, marked with hundreds of coordinates. A voice filled the hold, warm, feminine, and slightly mechanical. "Welcome, Navigator Luna. This vessel has been waiting for you." Cameron grabbed Luna's arm. "Did that ship just say your name?" "I am the Meridian," the voice continued. "This cruiser was designed for a singular purpose, to transport the sleepers across the galaxy. They are the last survivors of Earth Prime, preserved before the Great Collapse 300 years ago. The original navigator perished before completing the mission. The ship has been searching for a worthy successor ever since." Luna's mind reeled. Earth Primed, a mythical origin planet that everyone assumed was just a legend. "You've been looking for me." "Not you specifically," the Meridian replied, "but someone with the genetic markers of the original navigator bloodline. Your DNA signature registered the moment you touched the access panel. You are compatible." Cameron pulled up records on his portable device. "Luna, this is real. Look, there are reports of missing colony ships from centuries ago. The dates match up with what the ship is saying." Luna walked slowly along the rows of pods, studying the faces of the sleeping people. Each one represented a life paused, waiting, hoping. "Where were you taking them?" "To New Eden," the Meridian answered. A location on the holographic map pulsed with golden light, a planet in an unexplored sector, far beyond charted space. A world prepared for humanity's second chance. But the journey cannot be completed without a navigator. "Will you accept this duty?" Luna looked at Cameron, then back at the pods. This was bigger than anything she'd ever imagined. A few days ago, her greatest ambition had been to own a small transport ship and make honest cargo runs. Now she was being asked to complete a 300-year-old mission to save the last remnants of ancient Earth. "The sleepers have families waiting?" she asked quietly. "Their descendants believe they are long dead," the Meridian said. "But yes, genetic records exist. Reunification is possible." Cameron squeezed her shoulder. "This is your choice, Luna. But for what it's worth, I think you already know what you're going to do." Luna did know. She'd always been the practical type, but she'd also always believed that some opportunities only came once in a lifetime. She placed both hands on the console, feeling the ship respond to her touch, feeling centuries of purpose flowing through the circuits. "Plot the course to New Eden," she said firmly. "And Cameron," she turned to her friend with a small smile, "I'm going to need a good mechanic for this journey. What do you say?" Cameron grinned. "I say let's wake up some history." As the Meridian's engines hummed to life for the first time in decades, Luna felt the weight of her new responsibility settle on her shoulders. She'd come to that empty auction looking for a ship. Instead, she'd found a destiny. The stars awaited, and somewhere in the darkness, New Eden was waiting too.